Thanks for joining me again to another one of my mathematics tutorials. In this session, we will be looking at quadratic factorization. What is a quadratic? A quadratic takes the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are integers. Now let's have a look at what a quadratic may look like. These three expressions are called integers. Here, a is 2, b is 4, and c is 1. In this expression, a is -2, b is -7, and c is 8. In this last expression, a is 3, b is -2, and c is -5. A is always your coefficient of that squared variable. B is your coefficient of your variable where the power is 1. And C is your constant, meaning that number that stands alone. So all three of these are called quadratic expressions. Now let's take a look at how to factorize a quadratic expression. Let's say we have a quadratic expression 2x squared take away 5x take away 3. Now upon examination I will notice that I cannot do factorization by grouping simply because I only have 3 terms. However, quadratic factorization is similar to factorization by grouping because what we do is actually split that middle term into 2 terms so that I end up with 4 terms, and then I can apply factorization by group. Now, when we split that middle term, we must make sure that we end up with 4 terms such that we can apply factorization by grouping, which means that we must end up with 2 pairs of terms and they must have something in common for us to continue with that factorization process. So what we need to do is to find 2 numbers such that their sum is -5, which gives us that -5 from that middle term there, and the product must be 2 by -3 to give us -6. This will ensure that we have 4 terms and we can apply factorization by grouping. Now, if our product must be -6, we should look at values that when multiplied gives us -6. I have 1 and -6. If I multiply those 2 numbers, I'm going to get -6. I also have -1 and 6. These 2 pairs are 2 different pairs. In this case, 1 was positive, and in this case, 1 was negative. We also have 2 and -3, as well as -2 and 3. Now that we have our pairs such that their product is -6, we can look now and choose out which pair when added gives -5. So I'm going to choose this pair here. 1 plus -6 is going to give me -5. So what I do now is I take that middle term and I replace it with this pair here. So I'm going to get 2x squared plus 1x. Remember, if I'm taking out a term that has x in it, I need to replace it with 2 terms that also has x in it. So my first value there is positive 1, so I write positive 1x, and my second value there is negative 6, so I write negative 6x. I replaced that term there with those two terms, and now I put back that last term. Now if you look, you are going to have two pairs, just like when we were doing factorization by grouping. Now we can apply that concept. In this first term, I have x being common. X multiplied by 2x gives me 2x squared, and x multiplied by 1 gives me 1x. In this second pair here, I take out negative 3 and I multiply it by 2x to give me negative 6x. Negative 3 by positive 1 gives me that negative 3. So here now, I can pull out that 2x plus 1 because that is common, and I put x take away 3 in that bracket there. And this is called factorization using your quadratic method. Let's have a look at another quadratic. Let's say we have x squared plus 9x plus 14. So what we are doing is we are literally taking out that middle term and replacing it with two terms. Now, what we need to do is to find a pair of numbers such that their sum is 9 and their product is, our coefficient here is understood to be 1. So it's 1 multiplied by 14 to give 14. So I'm going to look for numbers such that their product is 14. That's where we start. So I have 1 and 14. Don't forget your negative pairs, negative 1, negative 14. I also have 2 and 7, negative 2 and negative 7. That's it there. So now I choose from those pairs which pair gives the sum of 9. So if I look carefully, I'm going to see that this pair here, when added, gives 9. So now I'm going to replace that with 2 and 7. So I'm going to get x squared. Remember, it's positive 2, so it's going to be positive 2x. And here it's positive 7, so it's going to be positive 7x. And I put back my 14. So now I can group these because I'm seeing that they are stuff in common. So I can take out here x, open brackets, x plus 2. And here I have 7 being common, so it's 7 by x plus that. Then I take out my x plus 2 and I put here x plus 7. And there you have it, your quadratic factorization. Let's try one more. So let's say we have 2x squared take away 17x plus 21. Remember, our aim is to replace that middle term. So we are to find two numbers such that their sum is negative 17 and their product is 2 multiplied by 21 gives 42. So now I'm going to take that 42, that is where we start, and we are finding two numbers such that when multiplied gives 42. Okay, so here I've listed out all my pairs and I have included my negative pairs as well. I left out a negative there. So here now I'm looking to see which pair when added is going to give me negative 17. So it's this pair here, negative 3 plus negative 14 gives negative 17. So I am replacing this middle term with those two numbers. So I'm going to write 2 x squared, remember it's negative 3 in that two numbers there, so it's negative 3x, take away 14x, and I put back my positive 21. So now I can group my terms, and I'm going to take out x here, so I remain with 2x, take away 3, and I can take out 7 here, and I remain with 2x, take away 3, and now I can take out 2x, take away 3, and I'm left with here x take away 7. And there you have it, your quadratic factorization. Liked this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more of my videos.